Hello. In this video, we're going to go over how we mirror the leg controllers and the reverse foot controller over to the other side. I'll close the node editor here so we have a full view of our legs here. So this is going to be a little different than we did for the arms. The arms, we duplicated them, we grouped them and duplicated those controllers over with a -1 scale on the on all of the controllers, so that we could get a fully mirrored control. But for this one, we're going to do things a little different. We need to make sure that since the reverse foot controller is a controller that needs to be in world space, we're going to make sure that it's duplicated a little different. So we'll go through the process here. I'll go step by step, looking at my notes to make sure we get them right. So first thing we want to do is select some of the controls for the FK. So let's open up FK. We're not going to duplicate the FK joint chains, but we'll just mirror over the controllers themselves first. So if I select the control FK thigh offset, the FK IK foot switch, right, or IK FK foot switch, leg switch here, this one, which is that one in the back, but we need the group selected, and we also need the pole group. So the control FK group, the switcher group, the pole group. Okay, and then with those, we'll do edit, and we'll group those into one. And then this one we can call, I'll do capital CTR underscore leg underscore L underscore controllers underscore group. Maybe a long name, maybe you want to name it something else, but I'm just letting this know that these are the leg controllers group. They're going to be grouped under some other nodes as well. So it just turns into this very big hierarchy. So we have these grouped under here. And then we'll go to edit, duplicate special. Okay, so edit, duplicate special options. Make sure if yours isn't set up this way, I'll just reset so we start from scratch. You want scale, and this is X, and this is Y, and this is Z. So we want scale on X to be -1. Okay? And then we just hit apply. And what that will do is mirror it onto the other side. Okay? And now it's called group 1 there. Okay, so we want to rename this. Actually, we want everything to be renamed underneath with an underscore R. So let me close this. And I'll just, with that selected, I'm going to do modify, search and replace names, type in underscore capital L for search for, underscore capital R for replace with. If you did it before, earlier, it should all be there. And I'll hit apply, close. And it should have done all of those, but what it did actually here on this first one is it didn't change this to R, but it actually changed the L of leg to R. So I'm just going to fix the top group node there. So now we have control, leg, L, controllers group, and then the duplicate has all of the children here with underscore R for all of them. So that all worked good. There it is. What this did was it added a -1 scale value, but that's okay. That's what we want for this, for it to work correctly, because we want when we select this control curve and this control curve, right? This one's not attached to anything yet, but if we go into rotate, we want them to act opposite each other, so we can mirror that movement. But then act similar down Z. Okay. And opposite on X. That way we'll get mirrored FK movement. We can copy and paste some of those keyframes across to the other side, and it will mirror much easier. Okay, so then how do we do the reverse foot controls? So we're going to select the control curve itself. So let's close some of these so we can just see what we're working with. Here's our control foot curve. Okay, there it is down there. All right, we don't have a group node above it. Remember, I didn't do the group node with it. I just want this controller out in the open here that's zeroed, translate, and rotates. And with that one, we're just going to group that to itself. So a normal group of edit group, not, there we go, nothing else under it but just itself. We'll double click on that and we'll call this CTR underscore foot underscore L underscore controllers group. So there's leg controller group, and I'll just do foot controller group just to differentiate the leg reverse foot there, the foot from the leg. Okay. And then we're going to do a duplicate special on this one as well. We separated these out. I'll show you what we're going to do. We have that group selected. Edit, duplicate special. Same thing with the -1. Duplicate. So now it's over there on the other side, mirrored correctly. But this time, with this one, we're going to go to, with this group, actually I want it to be the controllers group. Oh, we want to do the renaming on this one. So first we'll make sure it's set up correctly, because we have this this group node, and we want to go here to modify. This is why it's different than the rest of the leg controllers. Modify freeze transformations option box. We don't want a negative scale on there. So what I'm going to do is turn off translate and rotate, but just have scale on there and hit freeze transformation. What that does is it makes it a 1 instead of a -1 on X. So now it's going to work so that when we copy between the reverse foot left and right, those will maintain world transforms versus being somehow opposite. They'll be maintaining the same. So it's a little tricky, but some of these things matter when we get to animation. So now we need to go through and just replace those names, right? So same thing with that group node selected, modify, and then we'll do search and replace names. Underscore L replaced with underscore R, replace, and it replaced everything correctly here, except for we need this to just say group instead of group 1. It said group 1 just to differentiate it from the left one before we changed its name. Okay, so see these IK handles in here and this constraint? These are kind of like ghosts. Like they're not really connected to anything. They were duplicated from the other side, but they were connected to the other side's joints. And so when they were duplicated, they lost their connection and they're not connected as they should be. So we need to recreate these constraints, these IKs, and the switching, things like that. So we kind of have to recreate the things that we did beforehand. We don't have to recreate the structure of the reverse foot. We don't have to recreate these curves and everything, but we do have to do all of the reverse foot constraint things. So so if we're going to do for the reverse foot, we're going to need to delete these IK handles and the constraint, and we're going to redo these for this leg, okay? So delete these from the right foot controller group. We have to recreate those, but we still have the structure set up correctly, so shouldn't be too bad. Okay, and then when we look at our new, I'm going to open up all of these for the right leg. Let's see, right here, CTR leg R controllers group. All of these are okay because they're just the controllers, but the switch here, this constraint no longer applies. So you get rid of any constraints and any IK handles from everything that we had just duplicated, all the right side controllers. So we maintain all the controllers. We got them set up the right way so they're kind of, mirrored, but we can't exactly use any of the constraints. We have to rebuild them. So let's go through that process. It's kind of painstaking, but we'll get through it. So first thing we need to do, IK and FK joint chains, right? So instead of duplicating those over, let's make sure that they're exact duplicates of the right side chains. So I'm going to select that deformer joint there, which is up here, inside of root for the thigh. There it is, see that thigh? We need to duplicate that, edit, a normal duplicate, and then we shift P to unparent. Now it's way down here. Go through this. I'll go through this kind of quick, but it's what we had already done. So this is going to be FK underscore thigh, FK underscore knee. I'll select this and copy it. Paste that into the front. Paste that into the front. Paste that into the front. I'll duplicate this again for IK, but let's make sure this FK radius is up at 3. Oh, for all of them. Select all of these. Change their radius to 3. So it's visually we can see it's different. Just kind of know it's there. And then we'll select the thigh, edit, duplicate. And once we have that duplicated, we can change the name, underscore I. I'll just copy the I. Go in here, I. Probably easier just to type I. Enter. Last one. So we have our FK and our IK. Duplicate leg joint chains. Starting with the FK, we need to make sure that these curves are the parents of the FK, right? So here we go. Here's Control R. Up here is our, let's close this up so we can see things better. Close the pole, close the IK switch. Just want to look at these. So we want control curve of FK, thigh R. Control curve is the parent. Then hold down control, click FK thigh, and that's going to be the child, right? These controllers control them. Constrain parent. Next curve, knee, connected to FK knee. Constrain parent. Next one is ankle curve, controls FK ankle, constrain parent. FK toe curve controls FK toe, joint, constrain parent. Okay, so now if you select that, you go to rotate, should rotate that FK leg. And the hierarchy is already set up because we duplicated it and we have our curves. Everything looks good. All right, so the next thing we need to do is We've got that correctly done. And then, let's see. We need to make sure that we have, we want to make sure that the deformer joint is trying to connect to both the IK and the FK so that we can do the switching, right? So the switching works. Because currently we have the switching here, but if we open the node editor, this IK-FK blend, I'll clear the graph and I'll add the IK-FK, the switch in here, right? IK-FK blend. We don't have any of those constraints to connect the IK-FK blend to. So we need the deformer joint constrained, parent constrained to all of the IK joints and all of the FK joints. And then we can do the blends, connect the blends. So we go through that process again. It's kind of tedious, but we'll do it. What we're building is the FK driving, and I'll close some of these. We don't need to see anything that we don't need to see. So here's our FK thigh needs to be R, needs to be driving our thigh R. So FK is the parent, deformer is the child. Select it second, control parent. Do that for knee, FK knee to knee R, constrain parent. FK ankle R to ankle R, constrain parent. FK toe R to toe R, constrain parent. FK toe end to toe end, constrain parent. So now there's constraints for the deformer joints, all of these, to the FK chain. So now we have to do it for the IK chain. Here's our IK chain. We start with IK thigh, control click on thigh R, constrain parent. Same for IK knee to knee, constrain parent. IK ankle to ankle, constrain parent. IK toe to toe, constrain parent. IK toe end to toe end, constrain parent. Now each of these parent constraints here has FK and IK. So now we can go do that switcher. Here's our switcher. That switcher IK-FK blend has to be connected to something. So clear the graph again. Just add FK-IK switch. Oh, look, it says reg switch. And I need to say leg. Leg. Oh, that needs to be leg switch R. That was not labeled correctly when I did the search and replace. So look through your search and replace and make sure things are labeled correctly in there. IK-FK reg. No. Leg switch L. So search and replace is good, but not if your naming convention doesn't follow the rules completely. Then it gets a little haywire. All of the rest seem to be okay. So the switcher in there, and then all of the right side constraints for the leg. So I'm control clicking all of these, not the root, and then I'm hitting add. And there they all are. Okay. And we'll connect these. Start with IK-FK blend. We'll connect to, we'll just go through here in no particular order. Start with FK, connect it to that. IK-FK blend to the FK constraint. To the FK constraint in there. FK constraint in there, and the FK constraint in here. Now remember, we have to do the reverse node. I'm just going to do tab, tab, reverse. There it is. Got it. Click on this a couple times. I'll just open these up so we can see it clearly. out from IK blend to input X, output X to each one of these. So output X to here, IK toe. Output X to here, to the IK. Output X to here, to the IK. Here, to the IK. Output X to here, IK. So now, that should have set up the ability for us to select the FK controller, move it, select the switcher, select IK FK blend attribute, and middle mouse drag, and it'll switch between them. But it's not following. The switcher is not following, so we need to make sure that this switcher here, which is here, its group node, okay, leg switch R, its group node is attached to, is the child of the deformer joint. So first we select right knee right, okay, it's the parent. Then I'm going to control click on the right switch, okay, IK FK leg switch R, group node. Got it? Constrain parent. Now, if I select that only and change its IKFK blend, the curve follows along with the leg. Wherever the leg goes, the switcher goes. Now I can select this, zero it out. Okay, so now things are working pretty good here. Let's see what else there is that we need to fix. We need to fix all of the reverse foot. So all the things driving in the reverse foot. So I'm going to select the reverse foot here. Make sure it's, yeah. Select that here. I'm going to clear the graph and just add that. Remember, we want this. We want all of these attributes connected to those attributes that we had before, right? So same things we had before. So we're going to get all of the right side control foot under here. Okay, all of these group nodes. Oh, we have to do the IK first. This isn't going to work if we don't have the IK set up for the whole leg. So let's start with that. Sorry, didn't mean to jump ahead. Before we do these attributes, we have to have the IK set up. Otherwise, it's not going to pull any of these things. It's just going to be a bunch of groups. So we had the IK leg and the FK leg, but the IK leg didn't have any IK on it. So we go to our IK under skeleton, because we have to rebuild the IK as well. Create IK handle options. So last time was single. We need it rotate plane or reset the tool, and you'll get the right one. And then we want to select the IK. Here's IK thigh. We want to go IK thigh and then control click ankle. And that's going to give us IK handle underscore ankle underscore R. And then we need another one. Select our IK handle tool. Switch it to single chain. And we need to do those other one from here and one to here. So I'm going to say ankle and then control click on toe. And that IK handle is going to be called IK handle ball R. I believe that's what it's called. Let me double check and make sure that's what I called the other one. Under leg control foot L. Open this up. So same names. So we're going to have ball, ankle, and toes. Okay? So this would be ball R, just like ball L. Okay? Now we do one more. IK from the ball to the toe end, from the toe to the toe end, basically. So toe, and then control click toe end, and we call this underscore toes underscore R. And then we set up, we actually don't have to do all the grouping and everything, blah, blah, blah. We just have to put these in the same place where these all go. But our IK ankle needs to have a pole vector, right? So the pole vector is connected to the IK handle. So we select the pole vector here, curve, because it's the thing that moves. Then we control click on the IK ankle. Or actually, yeah. And then we do skeleton, or it's a constraint pole vector. Okay, connected to that. So now we have a pole vector under that IK handle. So now we just need to recreate the same thing we have up here for the left to the right. So toes tap has the IK handle toes underneath it. So I can just grab toes and drag it under toes tap group, and it'll create the same thing. Since we already have the groups there and all their pivots, since we duplicated all those groups under that control foot curve, we can just drag these IK handles into their appropriate spots in the hierarchy. So under ball roll pivot, we need the ankle. So IK handle ankle, middle mouse drag under ball roll pivot right there. Okay, and this IK handle ball, follow the line, it's under this toes roll pivot. So IK handle ball, find toes roll pivot, let go, and you should have the same hierarchy as up here, duplicated. So now, last but not least, now we'll do those connections. So select our foot control curve and add it. There it is, added. And then we need to get all of these set up so that we can do the same connections to those rotations for those different channels. So those are going to be all the groups. So all these groups, not the IKs, not the constraints, just the groups. Hit add. Maybe we'll move them up here so they, one by one, they'll connect the way we want them to, okay? So we'll start with ankle roll. Ankle roll is X, so we go ankle roll to ankle roll, rotate X. Ball roll is also X, so ball roll to ball roll, rotate X. Ball swivel, that's on Y. Ball swivel to ball swivel, rotate Y. Bank in, now I think that's on Z. So bank in is our first one. Where's bank in? Rotate Z. Bank out is also on Z. Rotate Z. Toes roll is on X. Rotate X. And toes tap is also on X. This way, X. Rotate X. Okay. We just recreated the whole left side on the right side. So now if I select one of the FK curves and move that FK over there, and let's say I select the foot control here, foot control curve, and choose ball roll, and make it do the roll, and then I decide, let's switch between FK and IK. Select the switcher, go to IK, FK blend, middle mouse drag, and it switches between those two. Okay, that's the magic of this setup. You can have, basically, it's almost like having 3 skeletons. In a sense, you could make a total absolute 3 skeletons, but we only need IK really on the arms and the legs for the most part. So IK blend at 0. reverse foot attributes at 0, rotate on the FK at 0. All right, so that's mirroring it all, and that should help us when we get to animation. Hopefully that helps us in animation, that everything works correctly. Let's see, one last thing. We want to make sure that the legs follow the hips, right? So if I move the hips, right now the legs don't follow because of all these controllers that are their parents. So let's make sure that we have the NURBS selected for the root. So we have control root selected, and then we want to select the group node for, we'll start with the group node for the control thigh, left and right offsets. So control, it's basically going to be what this is connected to. So we'll go find that, where that is in the list here. Okay, what that's connected to, not this uppermost one here. Instead of dragging it on top of the hips, we actually want to use a control. We want to do a constraint on it because we need this some of these upper level groups to be, now that we've grouped a bunch of groups together, when we flipped them over, there's a negative scale on them. So we need to keep them in that group or we get some problems. So at this point, we want to say, this is the parent, and then we want to make the parent of this control right here, this one, it's offset. We want that to be the child. So constrain parent. We'll do the same for this side. So select the root and then go find the parent of the thigh curve. Parent of the thigh curve right there, and do constrain parent. Okay, so now in this instance, if I just select the root, the IK joints will follow along, or the FK joints will follow along. But the IK joints don't follow along. The IK joints actually are going to be the joints themselves because they don't have controllers as parents. So for the IK joint connecting to the root, we'll select the root first and then find the IK joint, okay, for the left thigh. Control click on it, constrain parent. Okay, same thing for the other one. Select the root. We'll go down here to where the IK thigh is. Control click on it, constrain parent. So now we just test that everything's good. Select the control for the root. As we move it, you can see that the legs are connected. The FK is moving downwards, the IK is sticking there. And it actually is a good example of why to use FK and IK. So FK is good for when you don't want the feet to stick to the ground, and IK is good when you want it to stick to the ground. Okay, so I'll just zero out that Y translation. And there, I believe we have all the things we need for creating mirrored leg controls and then resetting up all of those constraints. I know it's kind of a hassle to reset them all up, but being able to get all those behaviors to mirror across and be connected to the right things requires setting them up again. But we do get the advantage of doing a duplicate negative scale with all the controllers themselves so that we don't have to remake those. Okay?